Hey, I'm Connor McKnight, and you're watching Road to the Rate. Thanks for joining us for another episode of focusing on player development in the White Sox system. We're pretty excited about this show. We're excited about every show. We're pretty excited about this one. The number one prospect in the White Sox organization, the guy, Braden Montgomery, top of the list on 𝗏𝗏𝗏, is going to join the show. Birmingham parents have been on an absolute tear. That's the team he's on right now. And Braden just won minor league player of the month in the White Sox organization. He had himself a 14-game hitting streak in the month of August. What's gotten him going so good? We're going to ask him in just a couple of minutes. Another guy who's pitching really well for Birmingham is Tyler Schweitzer. He's been pitching in every single conceivable role, whether it's leverage, bulk, starts, long relief, the whole thing. Tyler's been doing it all. Tyler got promoted to Charlotte, had some struggles, got moved back to AA Birmingham, and has really reset his season and had a great month of August. We'll talk to him about what it's been like to hit that reset button and pitch as well as he has. So, without any further ado, we begin Road to the Rate with our interview with Braden Montgomery, the number one prospect in the White Sox organization. All right, joining us is Braden Montgomery, the White Sox minor league hitter of the month. Braden, first, congratulations, man. That's a heck of an August. You had a great run, a 14-game hitting streak. I think you were just all over the place. What was the feeling like? Is it cool to win minor league player of the month? It's got to be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's definitely cool to have that. I mean, it doesn't feel too different because you still just go to the ballpark the next day and then do it all over again. But I'm loving it, having a good time, just enjoying being with this ball club and hopefully winning some games going into the postseason.
Yeah, at ball club is something special. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. I'm curious, we focus so much on development here on the show. You're in the middle of a 14-game hitting streak. Let me take you back to, game 7 of 14 or whatever it is. As you're going through that run, right, you had a couple of games where it's like a 1-for-4, but for the most part, you're really hitting the ball pretty hard with a couple of hits a night, probably from both sides of the plate. What's going through your head while you're on that streak? I would imagine it's not about the streak, but it is about what you're taking up to the plate, whatever mindset that was. What's going through your brain for that 2 weeks?
Yeah, for sure. It's just about going up and winning each pitch. I mean, obviously there are going to be a couple pitches per game that don't go your way or whatever, but if you are able to focus and put your all into each singular pitch, then usually it'll be a good result on the back end. I mean, we talk about process and just giving ourselves the best chance to be successful, because it's a game of failure, so you're not going to get a hit every time. But if you put everything you can in each pitch, then usually you'll get a pretty good result.
You said we talk about process. Who's the we in that conversation down at Birmingham? Like, who is in that conversation with you? Who's gotten you set there and who's kind of informed that process along the way?
I guess I'd say it's more of an overall hitting thing in our organization. I know that various coordinators talked about it in spring training, but just kind of, and I feel like in all of baseball, people always talk about your process and owning your process, just because it's really a game. You can't really be too attached to the results sometimes. And so if you are putting the same equation together, then you're going to get some different results. But the more you're able to round that out, the more often you're going to be able to see the consistent good results.
When in your baseball journey did you kind of come to accept that? Because I would imagine for a guy like you, talented as you are, coming up through high school and whatnot, it's probably easy at some point to roll out of bed and just hit this guy that like me who's throwing 78 or something like that, right? This is not going to be hard. I don't really need a process here. But at some point, you've got to kind of get over how talented you are and embrace that process. Do you remember when that happened for you or when you fully got into that?
I'd say it's something that I'm improving upon every day. I mean, it's something I've been aware of since high school, because I mean, baseball is just a hard game. Like you can be on it and you can be the guy in high school or whatever, but guys can throw a good pitch or they can have a good sequence of pitches against you, and then you look crazy. And so there's always going to be those moments that'll humble you. And so I think that every time you have one of those moments, it reminds you what you need to get back to, and those kind of help to build the stepping blocks to improving and eliminating that failure as much as possible.
You've been promoted a couple of times this year, and at each next level, looks like you've had immediate success, a little bit of an adjustment period, and then another big run of success and another promotion. What was that like to kind of go through some of those struggles and then come out the other side? We talk all the time about, how important this, I mean, you just mentioned it. This is a game where you can't get too hung up on results. And yet you've got to kind of get those into a feedback and adjust the process a little bit to get your team to win a ball game, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, failing is never going to be easy or enjoyable, but I kind of have prided myself on trying to fail a different way each time, and have each of those failures kind of teach me something in order to round out my what I'm looking for in terms of like a bulletproof approach where I'm ready for whatever, whenever. And so yeah, failure is never easy, but it can help to fuel the success if you pay attention to it.
Do you find that going back through, I was asking Colson Montgomery about this the other day. He had gone to Arizona and reset his swing and all that kind of stuff. And he's on this, tank run right now. He's got a whole bunch of home runs. The Twins hate him. I mean, it's just ridiculous right now. But I asked, can you learn a lot from the homers that you're hitting too? Can you go back and look at these nice swings and see what they were trying to do to you and how you got that done? Do you find that you can learn a bit more about your own process or what needs tweaking by watching some tape of your successes as much as your failures at this point?
I say a little bit, but not like a whole lot, just because the successes are what I view as where things went as I planned it to. Like that's what I went up to. That's what I went up expecting the pitch over this side, and my body moved the way I wanted it to. And so, I mean, yeah, I learned stuff from that in terms of what I need to correct from the bad stuff. But I feel like that's kind of more what I view as like being the default, and then the failures are where I'm like, all right, this is where we need to find something to correct. But I think you can learn definitely from both of them.
How much more work is it to be a switch hitter? I know what that question sounds like probably, but you've got to maintenance two different swings at the same time. And to me, it seems like an immense amount of work.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, there's some days where one side will feel foreign, but it's definitely rewarding when we see a crossfire throwing lefty, and I don't have to see that lefty. But it's got its perks and the cons, but it's a lot of work, but I love it. I love hitting. I want to be in the cages all day, every day, and so I enjoy it.
Talked to Ryan Fuller and 𝗵 𝗠ci too a little bit. You're a very high volume guy when it comes to your swings. Pre-game, and I would expect probably there's some days where you're hitting post-game and trying to figure some stuff out or whatever. Where did that drive come from, I suppose, and how important is it to you to be able to maintain that high volume of swings on a daily basis?
Yeah, I'd say it's another thing that's kind of just been cultivated ever since I was in like middle school. I mean, I've always just wanted to go to the cages and hit, because I mean, people say that sometimes more isn't more, but I feel like with the right intent, the right focus, and practicing on promoting the right things, and more is always going to be more. And so I love it. It's super important to me. And for me to continue to keep making strides, I think that's the best way to be able to do it is good work. I mean, obviously, if you're doing more practicing the wrong habits, then that's not going to be good. But if you're focused and intent on doing good work, then you're going to be getting good work out of it.
How's the defense? Like we focus so much on this show about, your, whether it's a pitcher and it's, moving your stuff around or whatever, and then the hitting side, but like guys progress defensively too. There's a lot of big steps that people take, whether it's in the outfield or on the infield. Where do you feel your defensive game is at right now? What's been the latest, kind of stride you've taken or thing that's popped into your, oh, hey, it's a great way to go about getting to a ball at the line or whatever?
Yeah, I think my defensive game has been progressing a lot since getting into pro ball. I think a lot of that was just like in spring training and talking more about defense, thinking more about defense, and talking about how it's really just in the outfield and an effort thing. Like put everything into it and lock in and be ready to be the last line of defense. And so talking through that in spring training and thinking about that was huge, just kind of setting it up for the year and getting ready to play out there. But it's been super enjoyable. I've been enjoying being out there.
we talk to some of the outfield instructors here at the big league level sometimes, and they'll talk a lot about that first step, that that jump to the baseball, making sure that that's aggressive and well timed, all that kind of stuff. There's also makeup speed. I mean, if that first step isn't quite there, how do you find yourself kind of toggling between that? How is that? Just seeing more baseballs out there, getting more reps, and kind of knowing, hey, this jump wasn't great, but I've got the speed to make up for something like this. A ball to your right, ball to your left.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, something that I kind of noticed in spring training was that it's more important to be accurate with that first step than to be quick necessarily. That's something we talked about a little bit. And so I really kind of focused on, like, yeah, if I'm moving like a split second after he makes contact, that's fine. I just want to make sure I'm gaining ground in the right direction and making sure I'm taking that read first. And then as I practice that, I feel like it kind of I get better at getting quicker and getting it as soon as it's off the bat. And so I feel like that progression just kind of has helped out. But yeah, certainly have been working on both the first step and the catch-up speed.
You mentioned at the start, how much fun it is to be playing on this team right now. The Barons are on just a ridiculous tear through the second half, and they played well before you got there too. There's a lot of pieces here, a lot of fun guys to watch. Is this the best team you've played on?
I don't know. It's kind of, I had the privilege to be a part of 3 really good teams in college. And so it's hard to say, but it's also hard to draw the comparisons just with how much longer our season is and the metal versus wood bat component. But I was a part of some really good teams in college, so we'll see. We'll see if we make a playoff run. We'll see how that changes.
See, there you go. You can put it on top of the. This is what we need, guys. We need a deep run here. We'll get it going. But you guys have a lineup that can get it done in so many different ways. You've obviously gotten a ton of power and an immense level of raw power to the swing, and yet in that 14-game hitting streak, it's doubles for you, it's getting on base, it's taking walks, all that stuff. And that lineup top to bottom is just dangerous. How much fun is it to be a part of a 1 through 9 that gets it done and just wears guys out?
Yeah, it's super cool. I mean, you talk about teams that have a chance to make a deep playoff run, and it's never a one-dimensional team. And I think that our offense is not one-dimensional. It's not just sluggers and free swingers. I mean, we've got a little bit of everything, and it's playing offense the right way. And so it's been super exciting to be a part of it.
The last one I have for you, when we talked at Sox Fest briefly, you admitted, hey, what are you looking forward to this season? You said just playing, because you didn't get to play last year because of the ankle and whatnot. As we look back at this season, I know you got a lot more work to do here. As we look back, though, fill in the word, has the relief, the joy of playing, whatever it was, has that met your expectations, being able to get back out on the field and be the person that you are playing baseball? I know how big it was for you to get back out here healthy and just go.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I mean, it's been a great first year, and I'm looking forward to a strong finish with the guys. But it's been an awesome first year. It's been great being able to interact and just kind of see the pro ball landscape and meet all these guys and go to war with them. And so it's been everything that I could have hoped for.
I'm glad to hear it, man. Congratulations, and thanks for coming on the show. Can't wait to watch you guys make the run in the playoffs.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Joining us now on Road to the Rate is Tyler Schweitzer. He is I'm going to say pitcher, right? Because I feel like you've done a little bit of everything all season long. But the most important part, Tyler, is that you have been absolute nails for the Barons over the last month or so. I was reading through some of the notes, some of the stats, and this isn't to embarrass you or anything like that. This is just to point out how good it's been. Tyler Schweitzer has been putting up a 0 ERA in 21 innings with a .76 whip, which is really, really good. 11 strikeouts over 5 relief appearances, and a whole lot more here with AA Birmingham. Tyler, thanks for coming on the show. I guess the easiest way to start now is, what's working best for you when you step on the mound?
Honestly, it's being aggressive on the hitter, just getting that strike one, putting the guys on the back foot, and then you can just expand on all your pitches out there, and then also trusting those 7 guys behind you. And then recently, I haven't really had to shake a lot with my catchers, So the catchers have been doing a really good pitch calling. So it's just been a nice fluid transition from everyone.
Take me through your journey a little bit through Ball State, because a lot of people, if you're not like super into the draft, guys don't know about Drey Jameson and Kyle Nicholas and Chase McDermott, who are all top 5-round picks before you coming out of Ball State in Muncie. What was the pitching development program like there? How were you guys instructed to go about getting hitters? What was what's the foundation for you as you get into this White Sox system a couple years back?
It was at first it's all about development, getting what you need as a person, as if that's getting bigger, getting more mobile, like whatever physically you need to do. That like we're focused on that. And then pitching is just attack, 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 be on the aggressive from pitch one, and then work from that. And we did a lot of good jobs with Dustin Glant. When he recruited me, he was all about we're going to get the velo. And then when he left, 𝗬𝗟cie came in, and then he was all about command. So it was kind of a best of both worlds kind of thing of we got bigger, we got stronger, we're throwing harder, and now we're putting it into practice of we're throwing it in the strike zone and saying F you to the hitter, basically.
I love that. We've had Tanner McDougal on the show a couple of weeks ago, and that was very much his approach in the same way. Although you held up just where Tanner kind of struggled just a little bit. So I appreciate it. I love this idea because I was just talking to, like, the other day. I'm peeling back the curtain a little bit here for those of you watching. I'm in Minneapolis right now, and I sat down with Shane Smith, who's going to start the ball game on Thursday for the White Sox. And that's the mindset, man. It's like knowing that your stuff, and it's knowing that your stuff is better than this guy if I put it in the right spot. I wonder though, Tyler, like for all of us, there are times where we don't believe that thing we need to believe. What has it been like to get back to, kind of trusting that for you? Because I know this year has had some ups and downs.
Yeah, hindsight 2020, that was kind of looking back when I was in Charlotte, that was kind of the mindset that I didn't quite have. It was I would throw a ball, it would get hit, and I'm like, all right, I need to be a little bit better. And then I miss by 2 inches, and then I miss 2 inches again, and I'm down on the count. So then I throw it right down the middle, and then it gets hit again. So it was that wavering mentality I didn't think I had, but looking back now, I definitely had that. And yeah, Birmingham is a great reset right now. 0 ERA and however many innings now. So I feel like it's boded pretty well.
So for fans watching, you were at Charlotte for a little while, and honestly, like, some real good games at Charlotte, and then things got a little wonky, and then you fixed some things. It looked like in your last couple of outings with the Knights, then reassigned to AA Birmingham, and then lights out. Who helped you hit that reset button as you moved from Charlotte to Birmingham? Like, who in this organization was the guy pulling you through and getting you to where you are right now?
I mean, I want all the pitching coaches,
Yeah.
it's like every little thing we're trying to fix, here and there. And then I want to say something just clicked in me, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm just thinking of too many things. Like, let's just boil it down to one thing. Like, and at the beginning of the year, I was all about my legs, like getting my lead leg down and just thinking of that, and it worked. When I got to Charlotte, I just felt out of sync. I was messing with my arm, messing with my pitch grips, and then I was just like, let's just get back to the basics. Let's think about our lower half, and then it just kind of clicked again the last couple starts in Charlotte. But then the damage was kind of already done, and I got sent back down, and everything was already clicked, and here we are.
What are your keys right now? Like, because you seem to have a pretty simplistic approach to what you're taking care of. What do your check-ins look like at this point? Are you checking spin rates, pitch grips? Are you at any point, kind of looking like, okay, this is where we want to be, and like checking underneath the hood at all?
I just want to feel good when my outing comes up. That's really about it. At this point in the season, I'm not trying to change any of my pitch shapes. There's nothing really, like, it's been the same about the whole year, so I don't really need to worry about that. There's no new pitches that I really need to be throwing into my arsenal right now in September. But yeah, it's just feeling good for my next outing and keeping what I have rolling, keeping that mentality in check.
Who have you talked with, and how has it been to transition into a role that's very much like anything you need, I'm out here to get things done? I mean, you've shut things down in leverage, you've come out in bulk innings, you've made some starts, you've had some shorter outings as well. I mean, more multi-inning kind of stuff, but you have had some shorter stuff. What does it take for you to find the mindset that works given this role?
I mean, it's whatever the team needs, really. Whatever role is acceptable, like I'll accept it. In college, I was a reliever my first 2 years, and in my second year of relief, I was everything for Ball State. The
Mm-hmm.
firefighter, the long relief, the setup guy, closer, like whatever you want to, every name a relief pitcher can have. That was what I was. And then going into my junior year, Coach Maloney wanted me to be a starter, but didn't know who was going to replace my role, I guess, as a reliever. So he wanted me to stay as a reliever as well. So it was just very conflicting. But just having the mentality of going out there and none of those hitters are going to beat me is, any role is acceptable when you have that mentality.
What have you find helpful? What have you found helpful, either in college or your last couple of years in the minors? Is there anything that needs to change for you when you're starting a ball game versus working out of the bullpen, just from from a preset kind of role, like you're in between starts or going into that bullpen? Like, what do you like to look at that's a little different?
Um, I would say it's going after the hitter pitch one as a
Mm.
starter. Like coming out of the bullpen, you're straight go go go. Like you don't need to figure out the strike zone. You're just going right after the hitter. And I feel like the past couple years as a starter, it's always I'm trying to feel out what the umpire's kind of trying to do, where he's trying to give more ball to strike, if he's a little tighter today. So like the first inning, I feel like I usually just kind of danced around with the strike zone, but I needed to do a better job of attacking from pitch one because that's when it starts.
Is that I've been looking at scouting reports for you, and it looks like that slider has ticked up in velocity a little bit here over the last, I don't know, call it 4 months. You'd know better than I would. You're throwing it. But is there a different sense of attacking with a breaking ball when you're going to do it as opposed to, attacking with the fastball? Your keys have to change a little bit if you're coming at somebody with a slider on pitch one?
A little bit, not much different with the slider, maybe with the changeup and curveball, because those are more feel pitches.
Yeah.
But that was one thing I was talking with John, our pitching coach. Fastball and slider are just balls they're just pitches you can just grip and rip and just throw as hard as you can. And I'm just looking at where I want to start it versus where I want it to end up. And I'm just throwing it, and I think that's why it's gotten a tick up because I'm not thinking about the movement plot of it, the spin rate. It's just I'm throwing my bet. This is my best off speed pitch. Here it comes.
You mentioned having a really good bond with your catchers early on. Who have you been working with for the most part? I mean, White Sox fans I know who's down there, but the guys have been really on key. It sounds like. How has it been to get in that mind mold and kind of understand where you guys are headed?
Yeah, I mean, our catchers down here right now are Calvin Harris, Michael Turner, who's coming off of injury,
Yeah.
and then Jorge Corona, who came up from low A. And it's just gotten better with just talking with them and what I want to do as a pitcher and what they kind of see as a catcher, reading bats and where they're positioned in the box and stuff like that. And like I said, we haven't really had to shake a lot. Their pitch calling has been nails. So I mean, just talking to them about what I want to accomplish, so they know, where we want to throw X amount of pitches, where to what hitters. It's been a real big plus.
That has got to feel great. Like I don't know if you think that on the mound because you're in fight mode, but as you're coming off and heading back into the dugout, or at some point you have to be like, God, that was great. I mean, it's just everything was right on.
Yes, it's the best feeling when after an outing you realize you're like, I didn't I don't think I shook. Like it's one of the greatest feelings ever. It's like because like sometimes when you get out of sync, you're like, no, I don't want to throw that pitch. Oh no, I don't want to throw that pitch. Like I have a sequence in my head, but that's also a good thing because you talk to your catchers in between innings. Hey, let's start this guy off with a slider. Hey, let's start this guy off with a changeup. So then it kind of gets the juices flowing of just every other at bat, and yeah, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
You mentioned that mentality that you've got, that you and Tanner also have. It sounds like everybody with this team right now has that mentality of getting after the hitter. You guys can say it, I'm not allowed to, and that's fine. But what is it like to be on this team right now? We talked with Braden Montgomery earlier in the show. It is just everybody I've talked to on this Barron squad right now is like, this is something different.
I mean, I want to say it started from day one.
Yeah.
We're just a tight knit group that like we're all around the same age, that like we all kind of like the same things. Um, and like yeah, it feels like a team, like there's not really a person that's like me. We have like Riku and Bergoya will drop a bunt down, just for the heck of it to move a runner or whatnot. Like we have a lot of guys that'll sacrifice things for the team, and you don't find that often.
You guys have been a ton of fun to watch. Best of luck down the stretch here and into the playoffs. It'll be, I know a lot of White Sox fans will be glued to what you guys are up to in the next couple of weeks.
And thank you.
Absolutely. And congrats on a heck of a month, Tyler. Really appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you. Of course. Thanks for having me.
You got it. That's going to do it for us here on Road to the Rate. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Thanks to Braden Montgomery and Tyler Schweitzer. Thanks, as always, to our producer, 𝗻𝗁𝗻𝗄. Fun show today, and we'll do it again in 2 weeks. I would imagine that 𝗻𝗁𝗻𝗀, Director of Player Development, is going to be on the show. We're wrapping up the minor league seasons soon, and playoffs are on the way for a lot of these young prospects. We'll keep you posted on what's going on there and everything development side right here on Road to the Rate. We'll catch you next time.